We are living in an age of extraordinary progress, where technology, movement, and information flow faster than ever. But beneath the surface of this rapid growth, many of us are quietly running empty. Have you ever woken up in the morning with no desire to do anything? Even after a full night's sleep, do you often feel drained, unmotivated, easily irritated, or impatient, even when nothing seems to be going wrong? These are signs of a common condition in our modern world: mental exhaustion, a deep fatigue that doesn't come from the body, but from the constant restless stream of thoughts within the mind. Today, our minds are flooded with thousands of pieces of information each day. Yet long ago, the ancient sages already understood the true nature of this struggle, and they left behind teachings of profound wisdom. Today, we'll take a quiet journey together to explore this question. How did the ancient ones completely release negative emotions and mental exhaustion, and how can we apply their wisdom in our lives today? Mental exhaustion, the silent enemy. Mental exhaustion is not like physical fatigue. It doesn't arise from manual labor, but from the tangled, repetitive, and negative thoughts we endlessly recreate in our minds. Worrying about the future, regretting the past, fearing loss, fearing failure, fearing pain. A study in the US shows that more than 85% of the things people worry about never actually happen. This means that most of the fear and mental exhaustion we experience comes not from reality, but from illusions we create in our minds. For example, think back to the last time you worried about an important meeting. You feared saying something wrong, being scolded by your boss, or being judged by your colleagues. You imagined a series of worst-case scenarios, but then the meeting went smoothly and nothing serious happened. And you realize, how much energy did I waste on fearing the unknown? And there it is, those unnecessary streams of thought drain your life energy, leaving you exhausted, irritable, and even leading to depression. Let the mind serve you, don't let it rule you. In Eastern philosophy, there is a profound and meaningful saying: awareness is the master, thoughts are guests, and the outer world is but an illusion. This teaching reminds us that awareness, the still, silent presence within, is the true master of our inner world. Thoughts, no matter how loud or persistent, are merely passing visitors, and the external world, or what we perceive as reality, is ever shifting and impermanent, something we should not grasp too tightly. The human brain is often compared to a brilliant machine capable of remembering, calculating, and analyzing with great precision. But like any machine, when left unattended, it runs on its own, guided by old patterns and unconscious habits, and can eventually bring harm rather than clarity. We often make the mistake of believing that we are our thoughts. We think, I think this, so it must be who I am. But the truth is, you are not your mind. You are the awareness behind it. All the quiet presence that watches each thought come and go like clouds drifting across the open sky of your consciousness. The following story illustrates this beautifully. There was an old Zen master well known throughout the region. One day, a wealthy businessman came to see him and complained, I have everything: money, power, a family, but I constantly feel anxious and exhausted. I don't understand why. The master handed him a full glass of water and said, hold this glass and keep it perfectly still for 10 minutes. The man tried, but after just a few minutes, his hand began to tremble and the water started spilling. The master gently said, this glass is your mind. When it's filled to the brim with worries, even the slightest disturbance will cause it to overflow. Learn to pour some of the water out. Learn to let go of your thoughts. Your inner world shapes the outer one. One of the most profound truths taught by the enlightened ones is this: the world you see is not absolute reality. It is a mirror reflecting the state of your own mind. Have you ever noticed that when you're happy and full of life, everyone around you seems to be more pleasant and kind? But when you're angry or uneasy, no matter what others do, everything just feels irritating. The world doesn't change. Your mind changes, and so does the world around you. Therefore, if you try to change the external circumstances, Without doing anything to your inner self, it's like wiping a mirror while your face is still dirty, pointless. Quieting the mind, rising in consciousness. To dissolve negative emotions, you don't need to fight them. You just need to stop believing that those thoughts are true. It's like watching a movie. You know it's just a film, so even if there are scenes of pain or death, you can maintain some distance. But when you get lost in the movie and forget it's just a screen, you start to feel the emotions for real suffering, real worry. Practice returning to observe your mind, and you'll begin to see, this is just a stream of thoughts passing through. I can choose not to believe in them. Practice 3 mantras to dissolve negative emotions. Whenever you feel mentally drained, pause for a moment and silently repeat these 3 mantras. The brain is a tool, not the master. This reminds you to step back from the stream of thoughts. You don't have to believe everything the brain says. The world is a mirror of the inner self. This helps you remember if the outer world feels chaotic, it may be time to look within. My true nature is consciousness, still, peaceful, and eternal. This brings you back to your core. You are not your emotions, you are the stillness that observes them. The path to awakening doesn't mean throwing everything away. You don't need to leave your home, your job, or your family to become awakened. On the contrary, it is in the midst of everyday life, busy, noisy, and full of challenges, that you truly have the opportunity to cultivate inner stillness, as a friend of mine once shared. She's 42 and used to be a marketing director. I used to think I had to quit my job and become a monk to feel less anxious. But then I realized the anxiety didn't come from the job. It came from how I was reacting to it after I learned to observe my mind and meditate for just 15 minutes every morning. Nothing around me changed, but I changed. Mental exhaustion isn't some enemy out there. It's simply the result of living without awareness of letting yourself be swept away by negative thoughts. The ancient sages had no smartphones, no deadlines, no social media, yet they left us a priceless legacy. Lives simply turn inward and realize the true self that is the path to living fully, deeply, and peacefully in this ever-changing world. Remember, you don't need to control the world. You only need to understand yourself.